Hustle. You know, about a decade ago now, there's no way this was a decade ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I saw Casey Neistat give a speech at HustleCon in Oakland, California, and the whole topic of his speech was hustle. Hustle, he said. You know, it's all about hustle. And on the other side of it, you have these people on Twitter and other areas of the media. I just know because I'm on Twitter all the time, fully addicted at Alex Berman on Twitter. Give me a follow over there. I see all these people on Twitter talking about the toxic hustle culture. You know, people, there was one that I was laughing at the other day where somebody said that you should be able to work 45 to 55 hours per week at a full-time job for somebody else and still be massively successful. You should be able to take weekends and still be massively successful. You should be able to spend as much time as you want with your children and still be massively successful. Now, I think all of that thought process is misguided because yes, it's true. You should be able to see your children as much as you want. And you can. You know, you could have them next to you or whatever. Like, you could have them in the same room. I know you probably wouldn't because they'd be annoying during your work and be yelling at you the whole time. But you could if you wanted. Nothing is actually stopping you from doing that. Same with weekends. You could take a weekend and do what? You know, clean the house for 8 hours, go to the Home Depot and shop for plumbing supplies. What are you doing on this weekend that you so badly want that you can't do during the week? On my weeks, you know, sometimes I'll spend multiple hours watching TV shows. I watched the entire first 2 seasons of House of Cards. Took me about a week. And I would put in probably an hour or 2 a day of TV time while running the businesses, while doing all this stuff. So hustle culture is a false dichotomy, right? On one side, people think that people see other people that are obsessed with their businesses and working so hard, and they see that on one side, but they see it through the lens of hating their job. So for them, work is punishment and hustle is something that is hard. So for instance, let's say it's like your son's birthday and your boss, you know, won't let you call in sick to go to your son's birthday. That's hustle culture. But there's a freedom in the world that we live in now, which is basically like, we're all working from home. Just go to your son's birthday. Who's going to say anything? You know, you don't even have to tell your boss. Who cares? As long as your work gets done, who cares? And if your boss is you can quit. You know what's cool? There's a massive abundance of jobs out there. You can get a job doing whatever you want. You could actually even get 2 to 3 jobs at the same time. There was a post that went viral on Hacker News maybe a few months ago now about this guy that has 10 full-time jobs at 10 different startups, and he just rotates all through all of them and hasn't told anyone. Like, who knows what the morals of that are? But is that guy hustling too hard? I would say, no, I think he's doing his thing. You know, he's playing a game. I always hated when I was a kid when I would play video games for like 12 hours and my parents would be like, stop playing the game, you know, but they wouldn't tell me what I should do otherwise. Like, stop playing the game. We want to go to this boring ass zoo for 5 hours. Like, no, dude, I'm just going to play World of Warcraft. What are you talking about? Stop playing this game so we could go to dinner and then you're not allowed to fall asleep at the table, even though, you know, it's nice and comfortable at this table to fall asleep at, you know, like, bro, I've had people telling me what to do my whole life. I just want to plug into this computer and just work, you know, this is all I want to do. Let me be me. Come on. So when I hear these people going anti-hustle culture, that's all I hear. All I hear is, oh, you look so happy right now. Or, you know, I don't think you're happy, even though you seem fully engaged with this thing for 18 hours a day. Stop doing that and do my thing. And it's never happy people telling you not to hustle harder. It's always people that are like filled with regret. People that wasted their 20s and 30s and are now trying to find work-life balance in their 40s, being like middle managers or some kind of like non-top performer. Because what's interesting about the way that compounding works and the way that life works is if you underperform in your 20s, if you decide that you want work-life balance from like the age of 20 to 31, and you don't do certain things, then by the time you're 45, you're 10 years behind. And 10 years behind in your 20s is the difference between being a CEO at 31 and being a middle manager at 65 when you retire, or even lower. So the hustle culture, the work-life balance culture, especially when it's taught to younger people that are in the prime of their working life, is poison and is actually toxic. Work-life balance for a 25-year-old who can and will work his ass off to grow a company is toxic. It hurts society because society is going to achieve less because this person wasn't able to fulfill his dream of changing humanity. It hurts the person because that person is not going to be able to make enough money in his life to win the game that's in his mind. He's now playing your stupid game that nobody actually cares about. And it's bad for you because you are now feeding, you being the person promoting work-life balance, because you're now feeding into your cope. You should feel drastic disappointment of the fact that you wasted your 20s drinking and partying when you should have been working. You should feel that every day, the crushing disappointment, because that is what's going to get you to not waste the next 10 years or the next 20 years. So hustle culture is not toxic. Work-life balance, especially for younger people. Let's say you're under 30. Let's say you don't have a family. You don't have a wife and kids. You don't have anything holding you down. That is when work-life balance starts being toxic. What do you want me to do in the work-life balance, bro? Go to clubs? I hate clubs. Drink alcohol? I don't drink. Do hard drugs? That sounds like you're trying to set me up for horrible life failure. You know, what I would rather do is sit and look at the phone and tweet. You know, I'd rather send some tweets. I'd rather make YouTube videos. That's my work-life balance. The work is sending emails. The balance is sending tweets, creating content, right? That's good work-life balance. So when someone tells you that you shouldn't be working so hard, you know, let's go to dinner tonight. Like, you, dude. You know, we can order dinner in. And I'm not saying it's not okay to have fun. All I'm saying is hustle culture it does not mean that you should not perform, right? I'm not somebody who doesn't have fun. You know, I'm here in Goa right now. I travel a lot. I was just in Paris a little while ago. Got to eat some great croissants. You know, I hang out with my family whenever I'm around them. I've dated before, you know, like we've gone on, you know, fun vacations. I lived on a cruise ship for a month. So it's possible to have an incredible life or a fun life, incredible for you specifically. And it's also possible to achieve and to work hard. So don't let these people that are hating on your work stop you, because sometimes it's absolutely necessary to work 18-hour days, right? We're mid-launch right now for one of our companies, and being fully engaged in that launch every single day, even though 2 of the days happen on a weekend, is the difference between a high-performing launch and a mid-performing launch. Now, in 10 years, will I remember that I worked during one weekend? No. In 10 years, though, will I remember if the launch was successful and led to a company that eventually IPO'd and made us millions of dollars, changed my family's life, changed my team's life? Yeah, I will remember that. So if you follow, Jeff Bezos has this thing called the regret minimization framework. What am I going to regret more in 30 years? Will I regret not hanging out with my friends and going partying like we do every single week in order to work on this launch? Or will I regret not building this massive business that changed everything for me and my family? And I think I would regret not building the business more than I would regret putting in 30 minutes more of FaceTime with a friend that I see all the time anyway. Like, come on, guys. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why I'm horribly offended by the term work-life balance. And I also think people can set their own standards. You know, I'm not here telling you to work weekends. I'm here telling me to work weekends. And people hear me say stuff to myself, and they think that I'm saying that to you as life advice. You know, some people really need that time off to relax and recharge. And I need time off, but you can use the time off in more effective ways. You know, instead of working hard on your business, now you're working hard on your second business, your hobby business, and now you're doing it. And maybe you're just not passionate about what you're doing either. You really shouldn't feel like you need to escape. If you're living a fulfilling life, there's no such thing as burnout. There's no such thing as wanting to leave that life. In fact, you'll want to do it all the time. If your life is as fun as the video games you're addicted to, then you'll continue to play them. Nobody had to tell you to stop playing World of Warcraft. You would play that forever. In fact, they did the same stuff to me when I was a kid addicted to video games that they try to do to you when you're an adult addicted to working on your business? Like, what is this? Where do they want you to go? That's my message to you. Work-life balance. Do what's real for you. If you want to hustle for 6 months, 18 hours a day, or even 2 years or 3 years, 18 hours a day, don't let anyone tell you that's a bad thing. Thanks for watching. Be sure to smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.